Hey everybody, Doob666 here once again. Welcome to part 2 of my October 1st double horror movie collection update. We have got The Forest from 1982 going here, and The Black Cat from 1941 actually. Good little 40-year split between those ones there, so you guys know how I like to do it. Been a long day, can't wait to talk about some more horror films, but you know how I like to do it, guys. Cheers. And you guys know, if you watch this channel often, that I'm not really drinking too much anymore, but that I'm also an avid fan of pumpkin beers. So I'm gonna have me one of these Elysian Pumpkinchinos, coffee pumpkin ale. Really, really delicious. Keep my palate wet during this episode. Cheers once again, guys. Alright, that's delicious. Let's just get right into it. First one we have here is A Night of Horror, Nightmare Radio. This is an uncorked release as well. I know I've been talking about a lot of these lately. This one was pretty good. It's an anthology, but like one of the stories ends up being the main story, the wraparound. So it was pretty good. This is one of the better uncorked releases that I've found recently. Definitely got some creepy stuff to it. I feel like it definitely could have been cut down a little bit, but not bad. A Night of Horror. Okay. Another uncorked release here. It's also got the E1 mark on it. E1 kind of, I don't feel like they do so well as uncorked, so seeing them both on there is cool. This movie was just okay. I saw a lot of hate for it when I was looking into it, but you know, it's better than the haters would suggest, but really it's definitely on the lower tier side of even uncorked releases, so not bad. The Toy Box. You know, lots of cool ideas that I just feel didn't really get, you know, executed correctly. And it is kind of a cheesy movie anyways, but it tries to take itself a little serious, so I feel like that's why it doesn't really work. Anyways, on to the next one here. We have a vertical release. This is one I was just watching fairly recently. The Curse of Buckout Road. This was really, really long and drawn out, but still a pretty fun, cheesy little ride. I just feel like stuff like this could have been cut down like a lot, but it's got Danny Glover in it, so you know, I had to check it out. The Curse of Buckout Road. Next one here, we have Pray for Morning from 2005, I think? 2005 or 6. These, you know, 30-year-old high school kids get stuck inside this hospital or something. Where are they at? The Royal Crescent Hotel. You know, pretty typical stuff here. A bunch of kids, you know, get trapped inside a place at night and weird shit starts to happen. You know, honestly, this movie is not as bad as others of its kind, so you know, if that's what you're about, I'd give it a chance. I liked it. I had a good time with it. Next up here is The Rival, also from 2006. This is like a Lifetime Movie Network feature. Not really horror, more so just like drama with like a lot of, you know, human cruelty. You know, you can pretty much guess what it's about. One girl has a man, another girl wants that man, murder ensues. So if that's what you're into, The Rival. This is definitely something, I've probably seen this like on Lifetime Movie Network with my mom at some point in the past, so interesting little pickup. That was something I picked up from Record Alley before they went under. Next up here is Oxygen. This movie was pretty cool. I feel like something like this could have definitely also been cut down too. I feel that way about most things. I'm really okay with having a short film so long as all of it is good, but you know, this one's okay. This is really like all about the it's kind of like a character study because it's all about the character interactions, and it's a good movie, but it's really dry. It's a slow burn for sure. I would definitely check it out though. Oxygen from 1999. I think this one here is the second Raw Feed release, if anyone remembers them doing movies. This is like a psychological sort of horror film. This guy checks into a hospital, you know, for a routine, whatever the fuck, wakes up the next day and everything is just, you know, completely on its head. Very, very twisty topsy-turvy sort of movie. I liked it a lot, but I feel like it could have been a lot better. But Sublime was pretty good. But when did this come out? 2006 as well. So yeah, this one, I don't mind it at all. Like, just feel like a lot of good concepts didn't get, you know, quite executed as well as they could have, but still, pretty hard-hitting movie, and the ending is pretty decent. I like it. Alright, we got another Bloody Disgusting Selects release here. We have Crawl. This one I feel like fell a little bit short. Plot-wise, it just kind of seemed to drag on. There wasn't much to it. The killings and stuff that were in it are pretty brutal and stuff, but I don't know, it didn't quite get to, we're gonna skip this ad, guys. Screw YouTube ads. Is there another? Hell out of here with that shit. Anyways, I just feel like, in comparison to other Bloody Disgusting Selects, you know, releases that I've seen, like my favorite being Coldfish, this one just doesn't quite hit the mark. Like, I'm not emotionally scarred like I was with some of these other ones, so not bad. You know, definitely pretty cool splattery, slashery sort of thing, but not my favorite. Alright, gonna get into some 4Ks and Blu-rays here, guys. Got a 4K and Blu-ray combo pack of Dr. Strangelove, aka How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I think this came out in '63. I didn't really know much about this movie, but I saw this 4K recently and hadn't splurged in a while, so decided to pick it up. And it turned out to be pretty damn good. You know, you can't really go wrong with Stanley Kubrick. So, it's an interesting flick. I'm definitely going to have to give this one a few watches as well to really, truly appreciate it. But upon first viewing, pretty damn good. So, Dr. Strangelove. One of the very few 4Ks in my collection. Alright, got another Scream Factory box set for you guys. This one is the Omen collection. Just give you guys the whole wraparound look real quick. Then we'll start showing you the individual. Go. We'll get the first one out here for you guys and wet my palette. Okay, next up. We have the Omen from 1976. Yep, 1976. Extremely classic film. I've talked about it many times already. Don't really want to go too in depth with it. Just kind of wanted to show you guys the artwork all the way around. The disc art. And you can't really see it, but you can see the photographer in the dark room in the background here. So we got some cool inlaid art, artwork in the reverse side of these cases. Omen, totally classic, extremely good fucking movie. Next one we have here is Damien Omen II. Great artwork. I love the artwork on this. Get the other side there. Disc art again is really sick. And then you can't really see it because her face is behind where the disc sits in the case, but this is like, from the bird attack scene. There's some artwork in there as well. So that's really cool. Throw that one back in there. Alright, next up to my favorite in the series, we have The Final Conflict, aka Omen III. Love this movie. I don't know why. It's technically not nearly as good as any of the other Omen movies, but it's one that I saw really early on, and I just have always really liked it a lot. Like, I saw this really young for some reason. It's cool disc artwork. I feel like the reversible artwork on this one is the coolest for sure, too. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, not to mention, just all of the fantastic extras. I really dug my teeth pretty deep into the extras of this, and it was just a fantastic ride learning about all these films. Then we have Omen 4, easily the second weakest in my opinion. The remake is the weakest in my opinion. This is not bad though, it just seems to be more of like a bare bones remake of the original, in my opinion, with a few deviations plot-wise, but still not a bad entry. I kind of feel the same way about this one that I do like Prom Night 4. The artwork artwork on this one's pretty cool though. Oh yeah, and the last one here I feel like has it's my least favorite in the series, but it has the coolest artwork. The remake of the Omen from 2006. This movie, I saw it really young too, like a few years after I'd seen the Final Conflict. Like I said, I saw that very, very young. I saw this probably like age 12, 13 or something. You know, it just does not have the same punch from that original. Maybe I overhyped it. Upon further inspection, you know, I watched it a few other times, and it's not as bad as I would have like, you know, originally thought, but definitely cannot hold a candle at all to the original. We've got some cool artwork in there though. Overall, this set is really, really sick, and Scream Factory did an awesome job with it, so happy as fuck to have it. Alright, back into some DVDs, guys. Got Robert Rodriguez's The Faculty. This is so 90s, it's absolutely unbelievable. I'd watched this a few times before. I guess I was a little drunk, didn't really remember too much of it. Gave it another watch, and this turns out to be a really brutal, badass, like, alien flick. I would have never have guessed by the cover art, and like I'm prone to like not reading the synopsis on the back like ever. I just like to watch a movie typically, so I thought it was going to be sort of slashery or something. I just knew it was going to be very 90s, and it was very 90s, but I did not see the extremely good alien angle coming, so very well done. Robert Rodriguez usually doesn't let down, so The Faculty. If you haven't seen that, you definitely should. Alright, something else Scream Factory here. We have Ghost Stories from 2017. This is another anthology. It's an anthology, but it kind of isn't. Like, once again, like, it's more of just a bunch of stories interwoven that kind of have more to do with each other than you would have imagined. Still very, very good. Extremely British, if anything. I liked it well enough. I've seen it a few times now. First time I didn't really like it so much, but upon further, you know, viewings, I always tend to like stuff a little bit more. So, Ghost Stories was definitely worth your time. IFC Midnight pretty much never lets down either. So, when them and Scream Factory do it together, you can expect it to be pretty good. This is just like a little random cartoon DVD. It says it has Casper on there, but I think when we watched it, it had like one episode of Casper and like a bunch of other cartoons. So just throwing it in here because it's Casper and that's super classic. And we have Murder on Flight 502 with Farrah Fawcett, Robert Stack, and Sonny Bono, and oddly enough, Danny Bonaducci as well. This is from 1975. This is more of like a crime drama, mystery, whodunit sort of thing, but it all takes place on a plane. And honestly, it's kind of fucking wild, but it's done pretty well for a TV movie. So I don't know what releases this has ever had. This is a really weird, cheap early DVD release that I just kind of happened upon. So I don't know how you can get your hands on it or how you can watch it, but I did like it. Another thing I really, really liked recently was Soul Survivors from 2002, I think? Yeah, 2002. Very interesting, like, poor man's Jacob ladder sort of thing. I liked it a lot. I don't want to give away much because the plot is so cool, and, there's a lot of inventive scenes and cool practical effects and stuff, and you should definitely just check this out. Soul Survivors. Really, really good. Got a Clive Barker adaptation here. I read Cabal forever ago and didn't know that there was a movie up until maybe like a year or two ago when I found out that Nightbreed existed. So it wasn't really on my radar. I wasn't tracking it down. And then recently I just kind of happened upon this snapper case. And you guys know I love snapper cases, so had to scoop it up. And turns out this movie was like a lot wackier than I could have ever imagined. Clive Barker, seems to be a little wackier than most horror authors, in my opinion. His books, they just don't come off with such a super serious tone to me. It's just, it's different for sure, and this movie is very, very different. All the creature effects and stuff are super memorable, though, and classic, so, I'm definitely looking forward to, getting more acquainted with this flick, because I love Clive Barker. I love his books. You know, it goes for pretty much every author. I like the books a lot more than the adaptations and the movies, but still, lots of fun. Nightbreed. All right, and the last one we have here is the one Halloween movie for this portion of the update. I'll have a few more for, you know, the next update. I imagine it'll be here before Halloween, if not on Halloween, but we'll see. But this one is Trick or Treat from 2019. This one starts off as like a weird little crime drama mystery as well, just taking place on Halloween. It's exceptionally British as well, and kind of like bonkers at points. It kind of like it takes itself very serious, and then it goes very, very weird and kind of campy, and then it just goes absolutely nuts at the end, in my opinion. Pretty cool flick though. Like, you know, if you come bearing that name, Trick or Treat, it better be damn good. And you know, I found this at the dollar store, so I wasn't expecting too much, but this was definitely pretty fun. You should definitely check out Trick or Treat. And that's the last one, guys. Thank you for coming and checking out the double update. It's October, guys. Just keep on watching horror movies. You know, do lots of spooky activities and stuff, and drink some pumpkin beer if that's your thing. I know I'm going to continue to do so. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. So I will see you guys with all sorts of stuff this month. But until then, you guys have a good night, and I will see you next time. See you guys.